The very last wipe for Escape from Tarkov before 1.0 release is, of course, here today. And today I wanted to run through some of the patch notes, especially for those of you on PVE. There isn't a huge amount with regards to new information and the actual hardcore wipe that's going on. So I wanted to cover a couple of things that are majorly important for those of you that are playing PVE. It is really, really important, actually. And it's just a couple of lines that if you read in between the lines as to what these impacts are going to actually do, should make PvE way, way, way better and actually solve some of the problems that we've all been having when playing the game mode. So obviously the new content is coming out with the hardcore wipe, where you've got all of the limitations that a hardcore wipe has, where you can't put certain things in your back or in your ass, basically. You've got trading adjustments to trading mechanics, AI behavior, in-game tasks, experiencing skill gain, availability of weapons, equipment, loot, flea market, and other changes aimed at creating a unique and challenging game experience. This is only available for the PvP mode. This does not apply to PvE. So none of those changes are going to be made to PvE. There will be several planned stages of progression with the obviously hardcore wipe, and then they'll be announcing when these will actually go live, etc., on their social medias, so Twitter and stuff like that. So with regards to the extra content that we are getting, we've got Prestige. They've added 2 new Prestige levels with exclusive rewards, with new PMC character voices, PMC outfits, mannequin poses for the gear rack, new posters for the hideout, target styles for the shooting range, and hideout customization options, and some new dog tag styles. After earning Prestige 3 and 4, skills and weapon mastery will have progression saved by 15% for Prestige 3 and 20% for Prestige 4. Weapons, helmets, armor, and attachments will become available for Prestige item transfer as well. So obviously, people, if you haven't already Prestige, unfortunately, you are not going to be able to get to the first one. But those of you that did actually Prestige, and for the future, if you do come towards the end of a wipe, you know it's going to happen at some point. There's been an announcement. I'd highly recommend Prestiging your account right there and then if it's available to you, because you can then essentially get all of the permanent bonuses that come with Prestiging. Of course, AK-50, this has been added. So a brand new weapon has been added to the game, the anti-material sniper rifle with a related task chain to obtain it. So it's going to be locked behind a quest chain. Those of you on PvE that didn't reset your accounts, like some idiots here, will be able to get this one pretty easily. It should be locked probably between 3-4 quests to be able to actually unlock it. Might be more. Obviously, we'll get information on that when it does actually go live into the game, and I can cover that, as well as how to complete it and some of the things you might want to do to speed that process up. But this is probably the biggest change, and probably one of the things that I have wanted for the longest time when it comes to PvE, which is they have readjusted the PMC bot spawn system. So now the AI PMCs will no longer spawn immediately at points of interest. So this is things like, for example, you're playing Factory, the office building, you're playing Streets of Tarkov, they no longer spawn right near the marked rooms. They don't spawn at the relax room. They will, in fact, be spawning at remote spawn points. This is something that is basically like normal PMC spawns, I would assume, and then they will travel to loot POIs and compete with the player. This means that the actual engagement that you're going to have within the PvE game mode is going to be more realistic to what you would see with the typical PvP experience, where anywhere along the way you might see another PMC traveling to where you will be going, and so you're going to have to compete with those. It's rather than them just insta spawning at the key locations, staying there for a little bit and then traveling to an extract. It's now going to be that they're going to have to travel to the POI and then travel to the extract. Now, whether or not this makes it more annoying to complete some of the tasks, we don't actually know with regards to balancing of some of those tasks where it's like you have to take them out at certain points of interest. Not entirely sure, but it should be something beneficial, I think, for the game and make it a bit more fun. You know, you're going to be meeting them randomly as you're going along rather than being able to do as safe of a route as previously. They've improved the friendly foe identification system for PMC bots to distribute the availability of spawn points and check them for enemies. So essentially, friendly foe is like whether or not the PMC decides that they are going to attack someone or not, obviously. I mean, it's in the name. But they added this change a long time ago. It wasn't particularly the greatest when it first came out. They didn't really seem to have any friendliness whatsoever. But maybe with scavs, you'll see this a bit better with them attacking and stuff like this. But yes, this should help out quite a bit. And then fix several bugs where regular bots and PMCs would not be hostile towards each other. So they will actually fight when they're supposed to. Like, for example, I believe there was an issue with guards and PMC bots being able to not fight each other. They weren't actually interacting with one another, something like that. And PMC bots will try to avoid boss areas, but may still engage in a fight with them. I think this is good. It means that things like Sturman, for example, doesn't just insta get taken out in your raids, because when the boss spawns aren't 100%, it's a pain in the backside. So yes, that will be definitely a good thing. And then quality of life added the stash auto scroll function when click dragging an item. So when you actually click it, you pull it down in your stash, the stash will actually scroll. This is something very, very nice. Added a storage stacking limit for containers. This is necessary to avoid situations where a player will get stuck on the profile loading screen due to excessive amount of items in stash. This is the thing that I mentioned in the previous videos and on the streams, is that you cannot basically have any more than 7 items stacked within each other. So essentially, like if you had 7 backpacks within each other, that 7th backpack gonna be gone. So essentially you want at least like anything more than 7 would be deleted from the game. So that is basically what's happened. So if you had like 20 backpacks within each other, they are now going to be deleted, or at least from the 7th onward, they're all going to be deleted. And then they have added some new apparel to the shop. So obviously this is a cosmetic. You don't have to buy it. It's not going to give you any benefits, but it is 14 euros for the USEC day off, which is basically like a Hawaiian t-shirt for the USEC. And then there's a bear version, which you can get as well. So customizations, they are very expensive though compared to some of the other customizations. 14 euros or about £12 or like $20, like something like that. I'm not entirely sure what that will translate to, and of course taxes in your region, that sort of stuff. But yeah, bear vacation USEC day off. I'm probably going to go ahead and purchase the USEC one because that's usually what I'll pick as my character. So I'm going to definitely pick this one up for when we jump into the game. But there's one extra thing, and this is going to be very helpful for those of you wanting to get towards some goals. I wanted to show off something. It is not fully released yet, but it is going to be released probably later on today, and I'll do a full video on it, but I'll touch on it just whilst we're here. And that thing is that I have gone through and I have added every single quest. Now, I was getting sick of not having an actual Kappa tracker, one that actually shows you all of the quests, one that you can tick off to say that you've done those quests, and what quests you've got to do next with all of the rewards and stuff like that, without making it an arduous process of going through the wiki and like doing all of that sort of stuff. So I took it upon myself to go ahead and make myself an entire task list for Tarkov, which I'm going to have to update when the AK-50 quest line also gets added into the game, because that will be additional quests. But I am pretty sure I have covered every single quest in the game. For those of you wondering, there are currently around about like 450 quests, 440 quests, because we got some that are hidden at the moment in time. So currently it looks like we've got about 450 quests, and that is like genuinely how many I've got in the spreadsheet. It took me ages. It took me like 8 hours of going through the wiki, getting all of the information, all of the previous quests, and then starting up the whole spreadsheet to make sure that I've tracked every single quest, whether it's required for Kappa or not. And that allows us to make this section of the spreadsheet where I can essentially have only the Kappa required quests. So all of the Kappa required quests that you do need to complete. So there's 267 of them. Or at least I think it'll be 265 considering the first 2 rows are taken up. So 265 quests required for Kappa. But the great thing about this is we've got all of the links to the wiki. So essentially you can just hyperlink. Hopefully this will be on a Google Docs sheet, so you should be able to actually use the Google Docs instead of Excel. And so we can like essentially take the link to Escape from Tarkov and be able to hopefully, when that actually comes up. So what we can do then is, if you want to go to said first in line, for example, we can just click on first in line and it comes up with the quest, where you need to go, etc. on from the wiki. So all of those links are also saved in there, so you can just click on whatever quest that you want to. It's going to take you to that quest on the wiki, as well as also you then have a couple of other things which are that you can go ahead, find out what trader it is. So you could maybe decide that you only want mechanic as the quest person. So we can get all of the mechanic quests in here. We have all of the levels, so this is going to tell you which level you need to be minimum to be able to actually unlock that quest. And then, of course, we have all of the rewards and then items required, what locations they're going to be on. So do you need any items that aren't just given to you at the very beginning of the quest? So, you know, the keys, for example, Tarkov and Direction offers key. You're going to know exactly what you need for the upcoming quest. So if you're doing a hardcore account, for example, you can prepare in advance as to the quests that are going to come up. And then, of course, if we just want to tick, yes, I've completed that one, we can come over to the right-hand side and we can hide the completed quest, and that's going to get rid of it off of the task line. Similarly, you can unhide the completed quest and it will come back up. You can hide uncompleted quests, so you can only have the ones that you have actually completed. That's going to tell you all of them. And then, of course, you can unhide the uncompleted and that will come back with all of them. And then, yeah, you can, you know, do whatever you want to do with that and track it the way that you want to. For me, I'm probably just going to be hiding the completed quests and then going through. Once I've completed it, I'll go on here, tick yes from the drop down menu, and that's basically it. And we can like hide the completed quests that we've done. Of course, I'm going to tick those all as no, and then hopefully there we go. And then, yes, I will be doing the same for Lightkeeper. It's not currently in the spreadsheet at the moment. Well, it is, but it's not finished. And I want to make sure that it is all finished. If there's other things that you want me to add in here, there are certain quests that do require you to be a bear and USEC. I'm also going to try and add in a kind of flow chart as to see where your current progress is, but that is more of a long-term thing. It's something that's going to take a bit more work, and obviously going through Microsoft Excel VBA, which is like the coding language behind it, but I will do that. And then I'm also going to have a list of items that you need at the current level that you currently are for all of the quests that are unlocked at the time. I also want a entry log where you can type in what level you are, what like essentially it will take all of the quests that you've actually ticked as yes, I've done them. And then that will kind of go through and you can see exactly what quests are available to you and what's not locked and why it's kind of locked to you. And that way we can have a much easier flow through the quest lines as to where you want to go, why you haven't got things and stuff like that. Because currently a lot of the actual quests in the game or the trackers that we currently have are just like a tick box exercise where it's like, yes, I've completed it. And then like it doesn't really give you any information as to what you've personally completed. So I wanted to make an actual decent tool that is going to allow you to fully customize it so you can see exactly where your character is and that sort of things, what you need and how much XP you're going to get from all of the quests and stuff like that. So with that being said, that is the video. Not a whole lot of patch notes for this one. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that we did actually cover what we did, and of course the patch notes that we do have available. There's some big things for PvE, that's for certain, with the AI adjustments, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like it, of course subscribe down below if you want to see more Tarkov. If you want to support me directly, of course you can always become a member of the channel. I very rarely do that, but it does help me financially. My car broke down yesterday, which was always good, so yep, that was expensive. A new radiator and yeah, coolant housing, basically. That was fun. But either way, yeah, hopefully we can crack on, and we'll be doing some streams, of course, over the next few days, going through the hardcore account on PvE, kind of in solidarity with everyone on PvP, and kind of going through from the very beginning, using, of course, the spreadsheet as well, which will be publicly available in the video coming later. I will release it fully so you guys can use it, and then you can let me know how you've broken it and what I need to do to fix it, I'm sure. So yeah, I will make sure to take all of your feedback as well, because you guys are the ones that are going to be using it alongside me. So anything good that can come of it, I think, is a really good tool for the community, and I thought it was worth the time, even if I was just going to use it for my quests and stuff that I'm going to do. Hopefully some of you actually get use out of it. But with that being said, thank you, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.